Travel Saturday with Sarah and Ed and Tropical Sky. Start your dream with tailor-made holidays to the Caribbean, Far East, Maldives and beyond. Flying from Shannon Airport with tropicalsky.ie.
Sarah Slattery and Ed Finn are back in studio for Travel Saturday. Morning, how are we?
Great stuff, Trina. How are you?
Good. Sarah's just back from Ibiza and she's still got all her club wear on her. She's just back in from the nightclub. Sarah, how did she get on?
Absolutely loved it. I wish I went to the clubs, I have to say. That was the only thing we didn't do, but oh God, it was fabulous. Absolutely loved Ibiza. Like, literally can't wait to go back. We were only there 3 nights. We were doing a 2-centre and we did drive around the island one of the days, but I really loved it. Like, one of the things that stood out for me was that everything is so whitewashed. Like, it was like a little Greek. You know, I expected it to be like terracotta, like Palma or like the other Balearic Islands, but there's all these whitewashed towns and really, really pretty. Ibiza town is just fab. Like, absolutely loved it. There's the big old town. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's buzzing at night time. Everybody packed on the streets eating out. The vibe, the atmosphere. Loved it. Great shopping. And then these cove beaches everywhere as you drive around the island. They're just stunning. Like, you could be anywhere. Like, I have to say now, I was really, really surprised by Ibiza and by the towns and how much there is apart from the whole clubbing scene and apart from all the nightlife, like just all that aside.
I mean, that's what you think of when you think of Ibiza, and anyone saying that they're going to Ibiza, you think, oh yeah, they're going to be clubbing every night. But I'm assuming that's just part of the island, and then there's quieter parts and more. Is it a family-friendly island at all?
No, absolutely. Like, San Antonio would be the main club scene and Playa d'Embassa, 2 kind of big lively resorts with all the big clubs. Like, Calvin Harris was playing, David Guetta was playing when we were there. All of that goes on. But they're really local to those 2 areas. Whereas all the rest of like Ibiza town then would kind of have a mix. And then there's all these lovely resorts like Santa Eulalia, Callalonga, that would be much quieter, very family friendly, much more upmarket. So Ibiza, you can have it live if you want, you can have it quiet if you like. You know, you really can have a good mix. So yeah, I would say there's kind of something for everybody there. Without a doubt, it's a very small island, like it's a 1/6 the size of Majorca.
When I went there, I did a food tour and it was IbizaFoodTours.com through the Spanish tourists, but they recommended them. But it was incredible. I had the best food you ever have in your life. I mean, it was like Michelin star stuff. We went for lunches and they took us to all these places out in the middle of nowhere. And there was like we were on a kind of a farm. They grow all their own vegetables. They cooked all the food there for us. Just amazing stuff, and the quality. And they've all their own drinks that they make. Every family in Ibiza makes their own kind of drinks. It's kind of herbal drink. Sobra da Sousa, I can't pronounce it properly. And it's a kind of a big tradition there. So we were doing all that. Things I'd never an idea about. But Ibiza, of course, thousands of years of, the Balearics there, again, the culture, again, goes way back. So the food is just, it's hard to describe the different types. I mean, aside from your Spanish tapas and all that, I mean, it's a completely different cuisine. I mean, just amazing stuff. And then the old town of Ibiza is stunning. I remember walking past this little church and all these nuns were singing inside in the church, and it's like medieval, the old town. So you could go back in time and don't mind the clubbing or all that for me, because I mean, I'm at an age now where that's kind of, that ship has sailed.
Aren't we all at that age?
But anyway, the only club I like now is a club lounge at the airport.
Club Milk.
Yeah. But it's an amazing place, and again, like, you can just be, you don't have to see any, you were talking about the scene that you chat about there. And you've seen on Sky TV, like, Ibiza and all the reps gone mental.
I know, yeah.
So I saw none of that because I was in the other Ibiza, which was...
The flight going over, though, is it full of that?
Oh, yeah. Well, the flight coming back, there's a few ropey-looking people on it. But it was one of the best... I mean, as I said, you talk about cuisine. I mean, the Spanish... It was amazing. So, I mean, and as I said, that was just one company. I think they were Ibiza Food Tours. You can look it up. Or Spain.info is a great website as well that has all the info on it. I was there 3 times and we stopped off on a cruise ship another time and we just had a night there.
I would like, definitely, I think, I know I met a great group of girls actually when we were there, and they were there in their 40th, and I would think it's great. I would have liked to maybe do a night of the kind of Cafe Del Mar, the sunset, vibes going on. You don't have to stay out till 3 a.m, but you can still get that whole atmosphere. And I'd say that would be a nice thing to do, that you can do at any age. You don't have to be 21, you could be 40 or 50 or 60 and just get the vibe,
I think we were leaving some of the restaurants about 2 a.m. in the morning. So don't think that you won't have a crack, if you don't do the
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, the Spanish, they love to eat late anyway, so you could start your dinner at 9:30 or 10.
Yeah,
and,
like,
you know, it goes on. As you said, like, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that would be a good, like the sunset was 9:30 and you have all these incredible sunsets on the west coast of the island. But there's always a minimum spend in the restaurants. Could be 100 per person. So for our family of 4, it was 400. And then,
really?
Well,
Okay.
yeah. And then my husband was driving. So I was like, geez, I'd be absolutely trolleyed now if I'm sitting here having 400 euros.
So it wouldn't be a cheap holiday.
No, that's only if you want to do that sunset, iconic Cafe Del Mar type thing, you know. But I believe the food isn't even great there. It's more all about the drinks. And you can still sit on the rocks and enjoy the sunset. You don't have to do it. But I would say that whole vibe would be a cool thing to do for one of the nights. If you were going for a short break, you know, that's something. But there's lots of other sunset clubs around the island.
We had amazing, like Chef Boris, I'm just trying to remember the fellow, he has a place called The Living Room in Ibiza. He worked in Copenhagen and he prepared 3 amazing tapas for us, like tapas you've never in your life imagined. It was like, wow. I think it was like €25 per person, or so. Like it was the value was great, especially when you go out into the countryside.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and
it's only those sunset places that are. So that's what I'm saying. I'd say maybe do that for one night just to experience it. But otherwise, you know, you'll get value everywhere else. There was an amazing place we ate in right at the very, very top east coast called Cap de Formentor, I think it's called. The restaurant is called the Boathouse. If anybody is listening, it's oh my God, the food, like from everything from start to finish, was incredible. In this gorgeous little cove, would highly recommend that. There's another great place, Amante, that's famous for, it's like a beach club.
Amazing, yeah.
Very, very famous. So there's loads of places you can go if you don't want the nightlife, but of course there's plenty of places if you do.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Peruvian restaurant there we were taken to as well, which, you know, and of course, the famous pata negra, the black Iberian pig, that's a famous dish, you know, the jambon, all the different meats, like, you know, the jambon we buy here in the supermarket.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have it there, it's like, it's a different kettle of fish altogether. But so the choice is, so there's a huge influence of all different kind of, you know, because Peru, of course, Spanish speaking, there's a lot of interconnecting things, but it was wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so who flies to Ibiza?
Yeah, because it's always handy to get an old flight.
Just Ryanair at the moment, daily from Dublin, but there's also a TUI package holiday flight as well. So I'd say check both. And the value is definitely off season. I put up a great deal on my website, thetravelexpert.ie, for October. That's when the really good value is, particularly for like adult only hotels and things like that. So, and it's somewhere like it's only 2.5 hours flight.
Did you still get the weather in October?
Well, early October should be grand.
That's what I did. Well, that was when I did that tour that I was chatting about earlier, the food trip. It's like Malaga. You can get 22 degrees in December if you're lucky. You know,
just don't, it's like that. It should be October. Should be okay, but it's impossible to say anymore. I suppose it's only 2.5 hour flight, so it's very easily done for 3 or 4 night short break as well. If you just want kind of like a girls' trip or whatever like that.
Yes, Sarah. So you drop the kids to school, you jump on the flight, you head to Ibiza for the morning, back in time to collect them. Love it.
Yeah, full of tapas. You can also, by the way, sail from Barcelona. There's ferries from Barcelona to Ibiza as well. If you want to do something nice and leisurely, you can take in Mallorca if you want to do the Balearics. Going to see Nadal there. He has a tennis academy in Mallorca as well, which is nice. You can play a bit of tennis. So there's also options if you wanted to do Barcelona and Ibiza. Yeah. You can do that. And there's flights as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so there's a lot of different options. So play around with that.
Right. Now, speaking of flights, we've got more prizes to be won today. Will we do return flights to Newark with United? I think we will. Will we?
I just flew back from there. I loved it. Yeah. Great.
Who wants to do the question? Sarah, put you on the spot.
Right, well, I mentioned 2 DJs that were playing when we were there, 2 famous DJs. So name one of them.
So we're talking big famous dance DJs in the clubs in Ibiza. Sarah was giving it loads there. If you can remember either one of those, you can text in right now to enter your name and details to 087 188 0008. We're going to be calling the winner on Tuesday. Finn and Sarah Slattery, thank you so much.
Muchas gracias.
Travel Saturday with Sarah and Ed and Tropical Sky. Start your dream with tailor-made holidays to the Caribbean, Far East, Maldives and beyond. Flying from Shannon Airport with tropicalsky.ie.